Hello, welcome back to the Hour Show for our season number 2 of this journey that we started together. My guest today is Roxanne Perry. Hello, dear.
Hi, it's so good to be here, and thank you for having me on the show.
Thank you, sweetheart. So, Roxanne, I did not introduce you because I wanted you to do it.
Okay.
I mean, tell us really who you are and what you're doing.
Okay, well, I have 4 careers. One was a private investigator. I was a private investigator in the 80s, and I had worked on some very interesting cases.
Yes.
I was also a former school teacher, taught elementary school.
Beautiful.
My 3rd career, which is mostly what I do now, is graphology or handwriting analysis.
Absolutely.
And then in 1998, I got my master's in marriage and family therapy. So I combine all of those things with graphology and psychotherapy to help figure people out, understand what the world is about through the handwriting, through graphology, and be able to do healing of the planet by understanding the nature of an individual. So it's a lot of exciting things.
It is a lot of exciting thing, and that's why you are here, and I am very honored to have you here, because at the same time our work together kind of meet in one way, which is to help people. Today we are going to talk about mostly the whole of all of that, which, as you described, it ends up with graphology and helping people.
Right.
And you have done it with celebrities. Like
yes, I have a
the Dali Lama,
right.
You name it. Who else can you?
I've done the trio, Jennifer Aniston, Brad Pitt, and Angelina Jolie.
Wow.
Helped to understand why that dynamic came into play. I've done handwritings of you, Laurie, from the House program. I've done Patrick Dempsey. I've done Oprah Winfrey. I've done Paul Newman. I've done Natalie Wood.
So
a lot
how
of celebrities.
Did that all started for you?
Well, okay, it's a very fascinating question, because I want to also dedicate this action that I'm doing here to my mom, Hermie and Spun, because she gave me my first book on graphology.
Oh, okay.
and also to Felix Klein, who is the head of the National Society for Graphology. Yes. He's passed away now, but I studied and learned with him. And I met him at a seminar, and I saw his handwriting. It was so big and open and warm, and I wanted to learn. So I went over to his booth where he was selling his books.
Yes.
And at a convention in Washington. And he said, come to New York and learn with me. So I learned through graphology, through Felix Klein.
And how long ago was this?
This was going back 30 years.
30 years?
Yeah, I started in 1978 with the fascination to learn about people, what their personality was like, what their character was like. And it was very exciting because all of the traits that a person has, their nature, their intellect, their emotions, their honesty, their dishonesty, everything is fascinatingly seen in handwriting.
Amazing. And it does never fail.
It never fails, no, because it comes from the brain.
Yes.
The brain just simply uses the hand to give the message.
Yes.
And through the spinal cord and the nerve cells, the individual writes their feelings and their emotions.
So since it is going on like that, it is changeable.
Absolutely.
So wherever you are, the state of mind you are when you're writing, that's what you're expressing. That's what you will be able to see then.
You are what you write.
You are what you write
is
at
what
the minute
writes,
you're writing it.
But also it's the gestalt. So in other words, the whole of you is always there.
Yes.
Tomorrow you may have a cold and the writing may look a little bit shaky, but you're still going to have your basic gestalt, your basic personality intact.
Amazing.
So you will always be seen as who you are, even though you may have changes, which is why mood show up in writing, health shows up in writing, anger shows up in writing, criminal violence shows up in writing, because the energies that you put are expressed through the paper.
Absolutely. Now, when you do your work and get rid of those emotions, let's say anger, even though it is hard to maybe get rid of all of it, but now you had surrender to your anger to a point where you do not express it anymore. Does it still show in the handwriting?
Yes. I'll tell you a fascinating story.
Yes.
I was at a woman's house and she showed me the handwriting of a young man.
Yes.
And I said, he's angry, he's violent, he's probably in a gang, and he can't be trusted.
Wow.
Well, she said, my daughter's dating him. And then she started to make excuses. Well, he's really a good person, and he's changing, and he's doing wonderful things. I said, how old was he when he suddenly had these problems? He was 12 years old. But now he's 19 and 20. I'm looking at his handwriting at 19 and 20, not at 12.
Yes.
The writing at 19 and 20 shows anger, frustration, temper, and dangerous.
Wow.
The next day we get a call from Israel. I'm sending your daughter home. The guy had a temper tantrum. He stole the ring. He ran up a $2,000 bill and got into a violent episode. So,
wow.
You know, so sometimes a person goes into denial,
yes,
where they say, well, he was like that then, but he's not like that now. If he's like that then and not now, the writing will not show anger and violence and temper.
Absolutely. Now, is that why you end up being a private detective? Because that really fits something you would need when you're a private detective.
Yeah, yeah.
Really?
Actually, I did the private investigation when I was living in New York. I worked with a private investigator.
All right.
And so I worked with him. So when I came down to Florida, I applied for my Class A and Class C license, which is the A is the agency and the C is the individual. So I applied for that. Then I met Felix Klein and did the handwriting. So when I work with a company, here's the beauty of it. In human resource departments, people don't always know what they're getting. They hire people, they don't know anything about them. Could be drugs, could be alcohol, could be criminal behavior. They don't really know what they're getting.
That is true.
I look at the handwriting, I see they have a criminal problem. We can do a background check. With my expertise as a private investigator, thank God I had contacts with the FBI and the police, and they were able to do the research and find out and run the background checks.
Amazing.
So the handwriting warned me and the company, don't hire this person. The background check came in and validated the findings.
So in your life, personal life, having that power to read people, and it never fails, how does it affect your personal life?
I'm able to detach from what I'm seeing.
Absolutely.
I'm able to look at it and see good, bad, problems, not problems. I'm able to see all of that. And analytically and therapeutically, I'm able to pull back so that their behavior doesn't affect me.
Yes, well, that's why I'm asking this question, because now you seeing that and not knowing if the person really is still that person or not, you have a judgment now that you have to live with.
Correct.
And that might be right or wrong.
Correct.
So did you have any choices in your life that you didn't make because somebody's writings were saying something that you didn't want to live with?
Right. Well, you know, one of the cases was a person who had applied for a job.
Yes.
And the writing indicated that he was very lethargic and had no energy. All of that actually was true, but when they called back, they found out that that was true at the time he wrote because he hadn't slept for 24 hours.
Yes.
So that was a problem in seeing the bigger picture.
Absolutely.
And so, but the judgment wasn't wrong about him being tired and lethargic and having no energy. It's just that that wasn't his real nature. Wow. So I have learned how to look at the whole gestalt and fine tune it, just like anything else. Just like you perfect your skills as you go.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely. When you go and do it, please don't make it is changeable. Don't make all your life affected by it or feel now disturbed because all of a sudden we see that you're an angry person.
Well, the beauty hour is that when I see the writing, because I'm a therapist, I don't just say you're angry. You're still upset with your mom or dad. I don't say that. I say there's anger and these are the issues, but here is called graphotherapy. Change your writing, change your personality. Because the concept is if I'm writing angry because I'm angry or I'm frustrated or what have you, I can then change and write more soft and rounded and full and open, which then psychologically affects the subconscious so that I'm no longer in that state.
Yes.
It's just like people that talk very blah, 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 blah. Tell them, slow down, relax, take a few breaths. You feel more at ease.
We'll be right back with more of Roxanne Perry, and we have a surprise for you. See you soon.